Hi! So now we're doing part 2. We're going to factor by GCF. So what is a GCF? The greatest common factor. I got this definition from mathiseasy.com. So the greatest common factor is the greatest number that divides a number or two terms. Like we're only going to focus on two terms really. So two terms evenly. So I'm going to just repeat one more time so you can copy it down. The greatest common factor is the highest number that divides exactly into two or more numbers. So how do I factor using the greatest common factor? Well, we have to find the greatest common factor first, right? So let's talk about how to find the greatest common factor. Step 1, find all factors. Sometimes we call this the prime factorization. Step 2, find ones that are common to both. So because we're only gonna have the factors by like two terms, so that's why we're only gonna say find the ones that are in common to both. Like, do you see? Look at number 2, A through O. They all have two terms, just two terms. And then step 3, multiply common factors. Really? I know we practiced this before. So first use prime factorization to list all the factors, then circle all the common ones, and whatever the common ones, you multiply them. So that's to find the GCF, and then you take that out and you see what's left inside. So if you look at this example, 8x minus 36. I would do it this way. Okay, 8. What is 8? 8 is 2 times 4, and 4 is 2 times 2. Prime factorization. So it's really 2 times 2 times 2 times x is 8x, right? I guess you don't have to put the 8x part, but I'm just writing that's where I got 8x from. 36 is, so 36, 2 times 18, 3 times 6, 2 times 3. So 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Yes, I know 36 is 6 times 6, but you have to break the 6's into even smaller prime numbers. So that's how I got 2, 3, 2, 3. So now you circle all the common ones. 2's here, 2's there, 2's here, 2's there. That's about it. So step 3, multiply those common factors. So 2 times 2 is 4. So greatest common factor is 4. So you take the 4 out, and then you see what's left. Okay, 2x. I do the arrow just to show you it's like the reverse of distribution. So 2 times 4 is 8x. And then you see how 3 and a 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. But don't forget, go back to the problem and see the sign. So it's minus, so we're going to put minus. There you go. You can factor out the 4, and then 2x minus 9. Okay, let's try a couple more. No worries. I know it's something that we struggled before too. So 40x. 40 is 2 times 20, 2 times 10, 2 times 5. So 40x is 2, 2, 2, 5, and then an x because it's 40x. 12 is 2 times 6, 2 times 3. So it's 2, 2, and a 3. So 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. So now you circle all the common factors. 2 and a 2, 2 and a 2. That is it. That's step 2. Find the ones that are common to both. Now you have to multiply them. So 2 times 2 is 4. So just like last time, we take out the 4. And then what's left? 2, 5x, that's 10x. That's just 3. And go back and see what sign it is. It's minus. So 4 times 10x minus 3. Alright, let's move on. Yay, this is fun. 14, 2 times 7. That's it. 6, 2 times 3. Okay, I'm being lazy here. I just wrote it right there. So 14x is 2 times 7 times x. 6 is 2 times 3. Circle all the common factors. Oh boy, all but just 2. So take the 2 out. Pull the 2 out. You have 7x, 3. Go back and then make sure, like, look at the sign. I just hate when people make mistake with the sign because that means you got like 99% right, but the sign is not right. But you know how it is a big deal, right? Sign is a big deal. I want to have a positive number. I want to have positive money in my account, not negative. So make sure you check out the sign. So I got 7x from the leftover from the 14x and 3 from the leftover from the bottom one. All right, let's move on. Oh boy, speaking of the sign, D has some negative signs. Dun dun dun. Well. Now, when it comes up to negative, we have options. So I'm gonna, let's see. 6 is 2 times 3, but it's negative 6x cubed. So if you want to take out the negative 1 first, you could, because it's negative 1 times 2 times 3. That's negative 6. And x, that's x cubed, right? Do I really have to do this, guys? So that's how I got 2 and a 3, and then I had a negative, so I just put negative 1. 3x squared. Now, I would just put it as 3x squared. No, I thought about it for 2 seconds, but I decided 3x squared. So that's actually 3 times x. So the common terms are 3, the x, and the other x. Now you multiply the common terms. So x times x is 3x squared. That means you can pull out the 3x squared. Now let's see what's left. Negative 1 times 2 times x. That's negative 2x. Whoa, nothing left. If there's nothing left, you still have to put a placeholder 1, because if there's nothing left, that means you could also, like, when you reverse distribute, you still need a term there, right? That's negative 6x cubed, but we need something right there to make it negative 3x squared. Now I go back to the original and look at the sign. I'm going to put negative. So that does make negative 6x squared minus 3x squared. Check. Good. Looks good. Let's do one more, E, and then I'll end the video. So negative 2x, well, that is negative 2, or negative 1 times 2x. Negative 1 is, oh, well, that's negative, I'm not going to call it negative 1, I'm just going to call it 1, just 1. So that's just 1, that's just 1. So really, you can't really factor anything, so I just, this is kind of a tricky one. Here's why. You could just, there's nothing. So you can keep it that way. You can keep it this way. Or, you see how they both have negative 1s? Because negative 2 has negative and 1 has negative. So you could take out the negative 1 and say 2x plus 1. Now, that's a little tricky. So I don't want you to be like, oh wait, I understood all the other ones, but now I'm stuck on that. I don't want you to really focus on that. But I just want you to know that if they're both negatives, then it could be negative 1 could be out. Okay, and I'm gonna end it right here.